Hello there. You can see me now. Um, I am God, the black cube of Saturn. Or perhaps I could say it, well, I am God hidden in the black cube of Saturn. So, what do I mean by that? Well, um, what I mean is that demons have done evil witchcraft to me, to hide me, and for their evil purposes. So what I'll do, I'll go to my notepad. Okay, so what am I going to explain? So you know who Jacob is, the son of Isaac. Okay, and um, maybe you've seen a film called The Children, or you've read the book by Stephen King, Children of the Corn. So you might notice that Jacob has the word cob in it, but you actually pronounce it cub. And obviously, a cube is spelt like that. So people don't say Jacob. Now, Jack means nothing, and it also means steal. Okay? So, this is really important to understand these words. You see, the cob, so if I show you quickly, that's what a corn on the cob looks like. Yeah? What does that look like to you? See how it's phallus shaped? Notice the color of it is yellow. Okay? So, here's a film. It's an adaptation of it's based on Stephen King's book or story, his short story called Children of the Corn. And the film, the story, I can only tell you basic facts about it, but it's basically kids in a cornfield. They have some sort of cult thing happening, and they want to kill all the adults. So, it says there, an adult nightmare. Um, so the thing about that, um, is it's a film about child killers. Yeah? Now you see what the problem is here. Child killers. So what does that mean? Does that mean that the children are doing the killing? Or are children being killed? You see, this is the trick of language. This is babble. This is what demons use to get away with their very evil things. Okay? So the story Children of the Corn is about hiding child sex slavery and sacrifice. I know that's very, well, it is very extreme. It is. Now, you might be aware of Jesus Christ. Yeah. Um, there's the crucifix. Okay, so let me draw a crucifix here. Now, what's interesting, about the crucifix is that if you section it like this, you can make a cube out of it. Um, Strangely, yeah. But the thing about the crucifix is it's associated with Sodom. Well, the crucifixion of Jesus Christ is associated with Sodom and Egypt. Okay, if you're not familiar, go read Revelation chapter 11. Okay, and Sodom is to do with anal sex. Egypt is to do with bondage. Sorry. Um, yeah. So the thing is that demons have tried to bind me with magic. They've done this to me. They've done this, not thing. Yeah? So not thing is Jack, which is nothing. That's what they've done to me. And they've tried to hide me in a box, in a cube. Now, Jacob and Mary, so the Virgin Mary, the mother of Jesus, she's involved with this. Okay? If you don't believe me, well, take a look at this then. So, Mary's son. Okay? Now, in numerology, R and I are both 9. So they can be swapped around in magic. So, and not to mention that, right? So, if you take the R out of Mary, you get Maze. Maize. Right? You know what maize is? Yeah? That's corn. Okay? In fact, my dead mum, she died in 2021. Her name's Fiona, or Fee for short. She died 2021. It's actually her birthday. It would be her birthday tomorrow, which is the 7th of May. So, and obviously she gave birth to me. Yeah? And her birthday is in May. Yeah, and the number 7 is a significant number. The 7 spirits. Yeah, the 7 churches. Yeah. Okay. So number 7 is very significant. Not to mention I am 37 years old. That's how old I am, 37. Okay, so my cousin Andrew, he was King David. He doesn't believe me when I tell him that I'm God. He doesn't believe me, but that's because he's evil and he's a part of all of this. So the Star of David, I guess you could call this the mark of the beast as well. In fact, it's really the mark of the... I did a video explaining the mark of the beast, but this is probably more to do with it. So the thing about the Star of David is that it is associated with 666 because the angles inside of the triangles are 60 degrees, okay? And obviously it's a six-pointed star. And the thing about this star is that it represents a cube. If you know about Metatrons, it's called Metatron's cube. But basically, this can be made into a cube by joining the points like this. Okay? So you get up like this. And that gives you a three-dimensional cube. So 3D. And obviously, Muslims, they have their Kaaba. I can't remember how you spell. I think it's Kaaba in Mecca, which is a big black cube. Okay, and this is all connected together with the black cube of Saturn. The thing about and the other interesting thing is, well, I'm running out of space here. Hang on. So on the planet Saturn, there's a hurricane. There's like a giant hurricane storm. There's a big storm, and it is in the shape of a hexagon, which you can see in the Star of David, which is, it's it's basically like that, and it's like a big swirly storm thing. There are videos of it on YouTube. In fact, I could show you a picture of it now, actually. Hang on. So, there was a few pictures around here somewhere. If I can remember where it is. Oh, yeah. So if you can see here on this picture, in the bottom left corner down here, you can see the hexagon on Saturn. And obviously, you can see a lot of different things here. There are plenty of videos talking about the black cube of Saturn. Okay. Hang on a second. Okay. So let me just tidy this up a bit because this is a bit of a mess. So this is the thing. Do you know what sweet corn is? Yeah? You know what corn bread is? Well, who was it who said he's the bread of life? Jesus said, I am the bread of life. And here's corn trying to get in front of bread. Yeah, have you noticed that the word wheat is in the word sweet? Yeah, sweet corn. Yeah? What else is sweet? Sweeties or fruit. So the thing is that, well, in the book of Revelation, it talks about, there's the woman. It's a Revelation 12. There's the woman who's pregnant with the child, and she runs off into the wilderness. Well, this is the thing, maize. Maize. A is 1, Z is 26. Okay, and this is all to do with sex magic. This is all magic. The I in the middle is talking about the anus. Um, I've explained so many times in so many videos, but how do I? Oh, so if you're familiar with, there's that band Korn. I used to listen to them when I was a kid, um, when I was a teenager. And the thing is, I mean, there's that song by Korn, which is with, they do it with Ice Cube, the rapper, and it's called Children of the Corn. Yeah, they got another song on that album, which is called Follow the Leader. Yeah, they got the song called Freak on a Leash. Yeah, these people are sex magicians, and you see, what they want is, they want to, what they've been trying to do is they've been trying to hide me in a cube, black cube which is used, it has it has different purposes. Its purpose is to hide me, God, in darkness while doing sodomy and bondage to children, to sex slaves. Yeah, that's what they're doing. So, I mean, obviously, you're probably wondering, well, why would Jacob be involved with this, and why would Mary be involved with this? Well, that's what they are. They are involved with it. That's how it is. And not only them, um, King, who, who was King David, and Abraham as well. Believe me, I'm shocked too. Um, so in, sorry, drawing, I'm not very good at drawing on here, but the this so-called Star of David, well, what it represents, that represents the vagina, and this represents the penis. And so this is actually a symbol of sex. And then you've turned it into a cube, and then turned it into a black cube. Notice that in the word black is the word back. Yeah, this is to do with anal sex magic and darkness. Yeah. Um so, I mean, think of the phrase, Jack, cub. Yeah? Jack means nothing, or it means to steal. Cub, well, what's a lion cub? What does a cub mean? It's a child. It's a way of saying child. So, this is why this world has such a big problem with child sex slavery, and why people are drawn to doing it, because they're trying to get my power. They want the power of God. So the Virgin Mary, she was the Virgin Mary, but obviously she's not a virgin anymore. She came back. She was Aaliyah Dana Houghton. Okay, she was Aaliyah Dana Houghton. Okay, I'll show you. Just in case you're not. Hang on. Okay, so Aaliyah Dana Houghton. Let's go have a look at some pictures. Okay, so this is Aaliyah Dana Houghton. Okay, she was a singer. She died when she was 22. She was 22. She was born in 1979 on the 16th of January. She is a Capricorn, and Capricorn is associated with the Devil card in Tarot. Also, my cousin Andrew, who was King David, he was born on the 6th of January, 1987, which was the year I was also born as well. So he's a Capricorn as well. Okay, and obviously, well, people celebrate Jesus' birthday on the 25th of December, so my birthday is actually the 14th of November, 1987, which makes me a Scorpio. That means I'm associated with death. Um, but basically, so Aaliyah Dana Houghton, she in Magic Box, the cube is a way of saying butthole. Okay, so she is trying to hide me with her black butthole while people worship her, and she does all her very evil stuff. If you don't understand, right, so Saturn, yeah, you know what you sit on? Yeah, you sit on your ass. Yeah, so Saturn, it's basically it's talking about the butt. Okay? And then obviously that's then associated with the black box, the cube and the Star of David. And obviously Saturn is associated with Cronus, who is from Greek mythology. He was said to eat his children, sort of thing. Okay, so hopefully I've explained that well enough for you. Obviously, Aaliyah Dana Houghton, she died in a plane crash on in the 25th of August, 2001. Okay, so this was the wreckage of the plane that crashed. And that was about 2 weeks before what happened in New York on 9/11. Yeah? There's a connection. You see, it's because she's Mary. And she's a demon. Another interesting thing I forgot to mention is that that storm on the planet Saturn was actually discovered by a man called David Godfrey. And guess when he found it? Oh, that's right, he found it in 1987. That's the same year I was born, and it's the same year that my cousin Andrew was born, who I'm claiming is King David. Godfrey. Isn't that an interesting name? In my blood family, in my biological family, Goddard is a family name. So my mum's mum, her maiden name was Goddard. And in fact, her brother has a son who's called Stephen Goddard. And you know what's interesting about that as well? Because my name is Grant Salvin. See, we have the same initials, they're just the other way around. Yeah? Yeah, you know who Stephen King is? Yeah, he did the, It story and Um, the killer clown that kills all the children. Yeah, and also who. Ooh, what's his name again? Stephen Hawking. That's right, that guy. Oh yeah. What day did he die on again? Oh, that's right. You know what? I still remember. That's right. It was the 14th of March. That's right. That's Pi Day. Yeah, Pi Day. So, you see, the thing about the corn on the cob is that it's a sodomite. It's it represents sodomy. That's the thing. And the other thing is, well, um, let me clear some space on here. Hang on. Or maybe I can get another. Maybe I can get another page. Hang on. Can I get another page? Um. Yeah. There we go. That's fine. Okay. So, what was the point I was going to make? Sorry, I'm a bit slow this morning. A bit tired. But this is the thing, because Jacob's name. Okay, so what happened was the story was that he wrestled with an angel. Well, it depends who you listen to, because some people say that he wrestled with God, me, and I lost and Jacob won. And that's basically the story, right? So so the story is that Jacob wrestled with an angel of God, or God. He said that he claimed to see the face of God, and that he'd won. So that's basically what he Jacob, the name means supplant. Yeah, that's what Jacob means in Hebrew. It means supplant. Okay, do you want to see what supplant means? Okay, if you still don't believe me, okay, so what's the definition of supplant? Let's have a look, shall we? Supplant. Um, okay, we'll go with supplanted then. So supplant, transitive verb. So you can read it there. It says to take the place of or substitute for another. Replace, usurp. Yeah, to usurp the place of, especially through intrigue or underhanded tactics. Now you know the story about Jacob and Esau. Yeah. Oh yeah. What's a plant then? What's that? Yeah. What's a plant? Oh, would that be corn by any chance? Yeah. But so this is the thing, Jacob. And you're probably wondering, why would God use Jacob if he knew that he was eating? Well, that's the thing. Um, I guess I knew back then that he was capable of these things, and this is ultimately it all plays into my hand anyway. But let's carry on here. Okay, so Jacob, supplant. So in the book of Revelation, it talks about the 24 elders who are sitting on the throne before God. Yeah? So what it's saying is that they're sitting on the throne before God. So this is the thing. There are means that there's somebody else, or there are other people who are pretending to be God. Okay? They're sitting on the throne pretending that they're God while I am being ignored. Okay? Now you know Jacob, he's called he's called the father of the 12 tribes of Israel. Well, 12 times 2 is 24. And strange, so actually, where I used to live at a place called Flat 24. And I now live in a house number 12, strangely enough. I mean, it's not a coincidence. It's because of magic. See, the thing is about in magic, the butthole is the moon, the star, and obviously the sun is a star. You see, all these it's it's a magic thing. Yeah? Um that's just how it is. I know it sounds weird, but that's really how it is. That's what the butthole is in magic. Okay? It's so you see, because Mary was the mother of Jesus, okay? So Mary, Mary's son, yeah, son. So you see, the thing is, because she was this time round, she was a Leah Dana Houghton, okay? She was black this time, so she had a black box to hide her son in, or should I say, son, Jesus Christ. So when I say I am the black cube of Saturn, this is what I'm talking about. And like I said, maze. You know where I live? I live in Weston Super Mare. Yeah, that's where I live. So, what else can I put in this video? Um, and the thing is that, well, my cousin Andrew, who was King David, his dad, called Donald Neil, he is Abraham, or he was Abraham. And they don't believe in God, they hate God, they hate Jesus, and they just want to live their lives the way they want to live it. They're demons, that's all they are. Same with Jacob, same with Mary. Yeah, that's how it is. And this is what the world is, what the world has. The world has the children of the corn. And to the world, the children who are in sex slavery, who are being sacrificed, the world treats that as their light. That's the light that they're all drawn towards. And so when you listen to rappers, we listen to, trap music or grime or drill music, or, or listening to Rihanna and watching, they're all involved with this. That is the light that they want to shine in. And that's what they're involved with. So this is the thing, so Jacob, because you don't say Jacob, you say Jacob. Yeah, I mean, you can also write, it could be, this is the thing, J cube. I mean, that is basically my, because I was Jesus Christ. Okay, what's behind me is considered my past. Okay, I'm father. I'm father. Okay, and my past, so, pa, that means dad. Yeah, so my past, so you got S, so ass, the word ass is in there. Yeah, and then you got a crucifix. Yeah, a crucifix. Whoa. Hang on. A crucifix. So, I mean, this is the thing. Jesus, what was he described as? He was called the corner stone. Yeah, the corner stone. And the thing is that demons are trying to steal my light, my sun. Do you understand? I mean, my biological dad, he's called Char Lie. Yeah, you know what char means, you know what charcoal looks like, yeah? And what does it mean to lie down? Yeah? So a line, if you go lie down in a bed, yeah, you know, this is a name that is, it can mean different things, but it can mean sodomy. And this is the thing. The, what you call the Star of David, the Star of David. Where does that come from? What is that? There's absolutely no reason why anybody should worship that or should have that as a symbol. What is it? What's it for? That is, it's a sex magic star drawing. That's all it is. Why do you think witches like to use a drawn star? They use all kinds of stars, but the most common one is this. Yeah, the five-pointed star. Yeah, why would they want to use, why would a witch want to use that? It's because it's associated with the word star, and that's associated with sun. Yeah, and that's why they'll have a candle. Yeah, and they'll have other things to do. They'll have a, maybe a dagger or a cup. They, because they want to have the five, the four elements. That's what, that's how magic works. So, I mean, there's so many things I could talk about. I mean, if you don't look at me, look at this, for instance. So, what's a crop? Yeah, so wheat is a crop. Yeah, all the parables about wheat and crops. Yeah, that are in the Bible. Yeah, that are in the scriptures. Well, what is this? What's this then? So I spelled that backwards. I spell crop backwards. Look, pork. Yeah, what's pork? Yeah, well that's the thing, right? Swine. Oh look, now we got the word wine, and then we got the word wine. You know that sound that dogs make? Yeah, or anyone could make. You know, it just depends. It's a sound, isn't it? It's someone unhappy. You know, I made the point about so the 12 times 2 equals 24 because Jacob had 12 sons, basically. There were 12 tribes of Israel. Yeah? Well, that's the thing. The sun is associated with the butthole, and the butthole is associated with the number 2. You know, that's where the number 2's, I'm going to the toilet to do a number 2. Yeah? To do a 2. To do a 2. Yeah? Oh, who died when they were 22? Oh, right, yeah, that was Leah Dana Houghton. Yeah. I mean, she's not the only one who died when she was 22, but obviously there's a reason why she died when she was 22. And that's the other thing I should point out, because her name was Aliyah. Yeah? Notice how this isn't, yeah? Allah. You notice how there's a very interesting similarity between these names. Can you see that? You know, what's this name then? Do you recognize that one? Do you know what? So her initials were ADH. Yeah, you know what ADHD is? Yeah, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. That's witchcraft. This is all about magic. This is what this is all about. Her and demons trying to steal power. Have you heard of there's a story with in Greek mythology about the Minotaur. Yeah, so the Minotaur. So there's the Minotaur, and the Minotaur is in a labyrinth. A labyrinth, which is essentially a maze. Yeah? You know what the Torah is? The Torah? Yeah? Or Toro. Toro means bull. Or Taurus, which is the zodiac sign of the Hierophant card in tarot. In tarot. Okay? Um, so, this is the thing, Minotaur. Minotaur. Well, what's a minor? Yeah? What's a minor? And what's a minor issue? What does that mean? See, a child is a minor, and a minor issue is something that doesn't matter to you, right? You just think it doesn't matter. That's what you're told to think. Yeah? So these children of the corn, they're the ones that are supposedly killing the adults, but actually it's the other way around. It's a story designed to hide what they're doing because the words are essentially the same. Like I said, child killers, what does that mean? Does it mean that the children are doing the killing? Or does it mean the adults are killing the children? Which way around do you think it is? Okay, so I think I've explained this as much as I can right now. Yeah, I think I'll leave it there. Oh, another thing. You might notice I'm coughing a lot. Yeah? You might notice I've been coughing a lot because I smoke. What does that mean? Yeah? What does that mean? Think about it.